culture that we have doesn't allow for these things. And to like do the right thing. If you don't know what, and the subtitle of that is, if you don't know, ask. Most of the time we know.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to write a policy for everything under the sun.
Playing baseball in college or playing sports in college, you can really get overwhelmed with the facility and the turf and the color of the uniforms and all that kind of stuff. Do you fit the culture? Do you belong there? Are you an Eagle? Are you a Mustang? Are you a Seminole? Because certainly in baseball, and we're going to move into this with what we're talking about, and in any good sports program, they build a culture. This is the way we do business. This is the way we practice. This is the way we dress. This is what it means to be a part of this. So when you wear that uniform, the guys before you, there's meaning and purpose behind everything that you do. And for good, not all programs like that, but for good programs, that is something that is coveted and taken very, very seriously. In business, in your experience, how does culture fit into what you do, building Skyway Acquisitions into a thing that has its own culture? What is that?
So the culture for Skyway is actually on our website. It's under our values page, and we call it the 7 cubed. There are
7.
Yeah, so there's
cubed.
7 cubed is there's 7 core values, there's 7 keys, and there's 7 non-negotiables.
7 core values, 7 keys, and 7 non-negotiables.
Right.
That sounds like culture to me. Go ahead, keep going.
And so for example, one of the non-negotiables is you don't knowingly waste time. We may not know we're wasting time. We may try to put out a new product, try something new. It doesn't work. Once we learn it doesn't work, now we're knowingly wasting time. And that's a non-negotiable, meaning I will fire you if you don't do that. If you don't change your behavior, right? Another one is no gossip.
Yeah.
If we put it in writing, what's that rule about expectations? Like if an expectation that's not communicated is just a thought.
Just a thought. Right?
Nobody can do anything with that, right? So you have to set your expectations.
Right.
And that's what the core values are, things like solving clients' unique puzzles and using empathy. Like one of my favorite sayings is, if something doesn't make sense, get curious before you get furious. And that's
if something doesn't make sense, and in your business,
right,
there's probably a lot of that.
Yeah, just
if something doesn't make sense, get curious before you get furious.
Because you look at your employee and say, why did they do that? And instead of getting mad, again, you ask them, what did I miss? What caused this to make sense to you? That's being curious. If you're curious, you're going to ask questions. If you're furious, you're going to make statements. What's wrong with you? That's a statement. Versus, what led you here? It's a question.
You're building a culture based off things you want and things you also want to avoid in your pillars.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really big on a non-negotiable means this is what we don't want to see.
Right.
This is the culture that we have doesn't allow for these things. And to like do the right thing. If you don't know what, and the subtitle of that is, if you don't know, ask. Most of the time we know.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to write a policy for everything under the sun. We have a non-negotiable of do the right thing. And there have been a few times where somebody didn't know, and guess what? Because I got curious instead of furious, I was able to figure, okay, next time that happens, here's what you do. Problem solved.
Right. And see, that's defensible. When you say, when you're on the do the right thing, then you ask to explain, I can defend it if I'm doing the right thing.
Right.
That's how you know you're doing the right thing.
There you go.
I'm able to defend it. No, I'm doing this because this is the right thing to do for this particular customer who has this very unique challenge,